Greasy Neale is a legend in the game of football and Major League Baseball as well. He was a multi-sport star. He grew up in Parkersburg, West Virginia, and starred at West Virginia Wesleyan College. He wasn't always a hero to everyone. Sometimes he was the target of some mischievous actions by opponents. From the Parkersburg Sentinel on October 21st, 1913, titled Greasy Neale was a victim of a measly mean trick on Saturday at Fairmont. The story goes, quote, all have heard the measly trick played on our modest and innocent Greasy Neale, the football hero in a varsity versus Wesleyan game at Fairmont when they battled the championship honors. The Fairmont Times had this to say about it. The West Virginia player who tore the seat of his pants from the uniform of Greasy Neale, Wesleyan star in a football game Saturday, should have been ashamed of himself, for the stands were full of ladies and Greasy's predicament was a terrible one. The accident happened in the first stages of play, and he who was responsible did his work well, for there was scarcely any rear covering when Greasy rose from the scrimmage. Seeing what had happened, Neale wrapped the fragments of his uniform about him and hastened to the dressing room. While the Morgantown Cadet Band played on, "He Don't Wear No Underwear," and the thousands of rooters cheered on. It was one of those predicaments where Greasy Neale was sort of the butt of the joke, and he was caught by the seat of his pants. Not a great predicament to have, but one that rose a legend out of the ashes, a phoenix who became a Major League Baseball star and a star of collegiate football and went on to be one of the greatest college coaches of all time and won 2 National Football League championships. You can find more about Greasy Neale in our recent book, When Greasy Met the Wonder Coach, the story of the 1921 Rose Bowl game between Greasy Neale and Coach Andy Smith of the Cal Wonder Team Bears.